Welcome back, and thanks for being with us here at 10. You might look at Lake Mendota as a summer escape, but today the Lake Wisconsin Alliance shared the thousands of years of history hidden underneath. Archaeologists and First Nations have recovered 16 ancient dugout canoes from Lake Mendota. The oldest is more than 5,000 years old. State archaeologist Dr. Amy Rosenbro says these artifacts are a direct link to the people who came before us.
The canoes help connect us to the past. Everyone can imagine being in a canoe and paddling a canoe. They represent over 14,000 years of human presence, if not longer, in Wisconsin. It is all around us.
Members of the Lake Wisconsin Alliance say protecting that rich history goes hand in hand with protecting the lake itself.
We're homeowners and people around Lake Wisconsin trying to do what we can to impact the environment and make the Lake Wisconsin community a better place to live and try to protect our water for the next generations. Improve fishing and boating and recreation of all kinds.
While the Alliance works to protect the lakes, researchers are preserving the canoes for a future Madison History Museum display. We'll be right back. Stay with us.